There's a habit you have that's keeping you trapped in relationships that drain you, friendships that take more than they give, family dynamics where you're always the one accommodating, romantic relationships where you're chronically undervalued. And the habit isn't that you pick the wrong people, it's what you do after they show you who they are. You give them another chance, and another, and another. You tolerate behavior you'd never accept from a stranger because you're hoping they'll change back into the person you thought they were. But here's the truth. They're not going to change. And every time you give another chance to someone who doesn't deserve it, you're teaching them that your boundaries don't matter. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why you do this, what it's costing you, and how to stop giving endless chances to people who've proven they don't value you. Let's start with what this habit actually looks like. The habit is this. You confuse potential with reality. You don't see people as they are. You see them as who they could be if they just tried a little harder, if they just understood how their behavior affects you, if they just had one more chance to get it right. So you stay, you tolerate, you give chance after chance because you're invested in the potential version of them, not the actual person standing in front of you. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. You have a friend who constantly cancels plans last minute, or shows up late, or only calls when she needs something. It's happened dozens of times, but every time, she has an excuse. And you accept it because you remember how good the friendship was in the beginning. You're waiting for that version to come back. You have a family member who criticizes you, dismisses your feelings, or makes everything about them. It's been this way for years. But every time you consider setting a boundary, you think, maybe this time will be different. Maybe if I just explain it better, they'll understand. You have a partner who doesn't prioritize you, or who disrespects you in small ways that add up. But you tell yourself, they're under stress. They're going through something. Once things settle down, they'll go back to being the person I fell for. Here's what's actually happening. You're giving chances to people based on who you hope they'll become, not based on the pattern of behavior they've shown you. And every chance you give reinforces the pattern, because there are no consequences for treating you poorly. You'll always be there. You'll always understand. You'll always give one more chance. Let's talk about why you keep giving chances to people who don't deserve them. Because once you understand the psychology, you can break the pattern. Reason 1. Sunk cost fallacy. You've already invested so much time, energy, and emotion into this relationship. Walking away feels like admitting that all of that was wasted. So you stay, hoping that if you just invest a little more, it'll finally pay off. But here's what psychologists know. Past investment is not a reason to continue a bad investment. The time you've already spent is gone. The only question that matters is this relationship adding value to your life right now? Reason 2. You were taught that good people give chances, especially if you're a woman over 45. You were raised with the message that forgiveness is noble, that holding grudges is petty, that good people are patient and understanding. And those things are true in healthy relationships. But in toxic relationships, endless forgiveness isn't virtue. It's self-abandonment. There's a difference between giving someone a chance to grow and tolerating a pattern of disrespect. Reason 3. You're afraid of being alone. This is the one nobody wants to admit. You stay in low-value relationships because you're afraid that if you set standards and enforce boundaries, you'll end up alone. Better to have people in your life who treat you poorly than to have no one at all, right? Wrong. Because low-value relationships don't just take up space in your life. They take up the space where high-value relationships could be. Every hour you spend managing a friendship that's one-sided is an hour. You're not available for a friendship that's reciprocal. Every bit of energy you give to someone who doesn't value you is energy you can't give to someone who would. Reason 4. You believe love means tolerating bad behavior. You've confused unconditional love with unconditional tolerance. You think that if you really care about someone, you should accept them as they are, flaws and all. But love doesn't mean accepting disrespect. Love doesn't mean allowing someone to treat you in ways that harm you. Real love includes boundaries. Real love includes standards. When you tolerate bad behavior in the name of love, you're not being loving. You're being codependent. Let me be very clear about what this habit is costing you. Cost 1. Your self-respect. Every time you give another chance to someone who's proven they don't respect your boundaries, you lose a little bit of respect for yourself. Because deep down, you know you deserve better. And deep down, you know that by staying, you're sending yourself the message that you're not worth being treated well. Let me tell you about a woman named Linda, 48 years old. She had a best friend of 20 years who consistently treated her as an afterthought. Canceled plans, forgot important events, only called when she needed something. Linda kept giving her chances, kept excusing the behavior. Because 20 years of friendship had to mean something, right? One day, Linda's therapist asked her, if your daughter had a friend who treated her this way, what would you tell her to do? Linda said immediately, I'd tell her to walk away. Then why aren't you walking away? Linda sat with that question, and she realized she'd lost so much self-respect by tolerating this friendship that she didn't believe she deserved better. She ended the friendship, and she told me, it took me 6 months to stop feeling guilty, but for the first time in years, I respected myself again. Cost 2. Your energy. Low-value relationships are exhausting. They drain you because you're constantly managing, excusing, hoping, explaining. You're doing the emotional labor for two people. You're not just maintaining your side of the relationship, you're maintaining theirs too. And all that energy you're spending on people who don't value you is energy you can't spend on yourself, your goals, your growth. I worked with a client named Patricia, 51. She had a sister who was consistently critical and dismissive. Every conversation left Patricia feeling small and inadequate. But Patricia kept trying, kept calling, kept hoping her sister would change. One day I asked her, how much time do you spend thinking about your relationship with your sister? She calculated it. Hours a day, analyzing conversations, preparing for the next interaction, recovering from the last one. What could you do with that time if you weren't spending it on this relationship? Patricia's face changed. She'd never considered that question. She realized she was spending so much energy on one toxic relationship that she had nothing left for anything else. She stopped trying with her sister, and within a month, she'd started a hobby she'd been putting off for years, reconnected with old friends, and felt lighter than she had in a decade. Cost 3. The opportunity cost. This is the big one. Every low-value relationship in your life is taking up space where a high-value relationship could be. You only have so much time, so much energy, so many hours in a day. When you're giving chances to people who don't deserve them, you're not available for people who do. Let me tell you about Susan, 49, who spent years in a friendship that was completely one-sided. She was always the one reaching out, always the one making effort. I asked her, if this friend disappeared tomorrow, would you have time to develop new friendships? Susan said no. She was so busy maintaining this one relationship that she had no bandwidth for anything else. So this friendship isn't just unfulfilling, it's actively preventing you from finding fulfilling friendships. That perspective shift changed everything for Susan. She stopped pouring energy into the one-sided friendship, and within 6 months, she developed new friendships that were reciprocal, supportive, and energizing. She told me, "I thought I was being loyal by staying, but I was actually just being unavailable for the relationships I actually deserved." So how do you break this habit? How do you stop giving chances to people who've proven they don't value you? Step 1. Start tracking patterns, not incidents. One incident is a mistake. A pattern is a choice. If someone disrespects your boundary once and genuinely apologizes, that's forgivable. If someone disrespects your boundary repeatedly, that's a pattern. And patterns don't change without consequences. Start documenting, not obsessively, just awareness. Write down when someone disrespects you, cancels on you, treats you as an afterthought. When you see it written down, the pattern becomes undeniable. Linda, the woman I mentioned earlier, started doing this with her friend. Every time her friend canceled last minute or forgot an important event, Linda wrote it down. After 2 months, she had a list of 14 incidents. Seeing it in writing made it impossible to excuse anymore. The pattern was clear. Step 2. Stop accepting apologies without behavior change. "I'm sorry" without changed behavior is just manipulation. A real apology includes acknowledgement of what was wrong, understanding of how it affected you, and a commitment to do better. But most importantly, it includes actual behavior change. If someone apologizes but keeps doing the same thing, the apology is meaningless. Start saying this: "I appreciate the apology. I'll know it's genuine when I see the behavior change." And then you watch. If the behavior doesn't change, you have your answer. The apology was just words to get you to drop the boundary. I worked with a woman named Carol, 52, whose mother would apologize for being critical and then be critical again within days. Carol finally said, "I appreciate the apology, but we've been here before. I need to see consistent change, not just words." Her mother was offended. "So you're saying you don't forgive me?" Carol said, "I forgive you, but forgiveness doesn't mean I have to keep putting myself in situations where you hurt me." Her mother had a choice: actually change the behavior or lose access to Carol. She chose to change because for the first time, there were real consequences. Step 3. Implement the 3-strike rule. Here's a practical framework. Someone gets 3 chances to respect a boundary, not 300. 3. Strike 1. You clearly communicate the boundary and what happens if it's violated. Strike 2. They violate it. You remind them of the boundary and that there will be consequences if it happens again. Strike 3. They violate it again. You follow through with consequences. This might mean distancing, ending the relationship, or reducing contact. The key is, you have to actually follow through. If you threaten consequences and don't enforce them, you've just taught them your boundaries are negotiable. Let me tell you about Margaret, 50, who had a friend who constantly showed up late. Not 5 minutes, 30, 40, sometimes an hour late. Margaret told her, "I value my time. If you're more than 15 minutes late without calling, I'm leaving." Her friend was late the next time. Margaret left. Her friend was furious, called her dramatic, said she was being unreasonable. Margaret said, "I told you the boundary. You chose to test it." Her friend tested once more. Margaret left again. The friend showed up on time after that because she learned the boundary was real. Step 4. Ask yourself the stranger test. Here's a powerful question. If this person was a stranger who treated you this way, would you pursue a relationship with them? If a stranger canceled on you constantly, criticized you, took without giving, disrespected your boundaries, you wouldn't think twice about not having them in your life. So why is it different because you have history with them? History is not a reason to tolerate poor treatment. History should raise the standards, not lower them. Step 5. Get comfortable with people being upset when you stop giving infinite chances. People who benefited from your tolerance will be upset. They'll accuse you of being cold, unforgiving, changed. Let them be upset. Their discomfort with your boundaries is not your problem to fix. You're not responsible for managing their feelings about the fact that you won't tolerate disrespect anymore. Here's what happens when you stop giving endless chances to low-value relationships. Some relationships will end the people who were only in your life because you tolerated their bad behavior, will remove themselves when you stop tolerating it, and you'll grieve. Even toxic relationships leave a hole when they end, but that hole creates space for something better. Some relationships will transform. Some people, when faced with real consequences, will actually change. They'll rise to the standards you set because they actually value the relationship. These are the relationships worth keeping, not because they were perfect, but because when you set a boundary, they respected it. You'll feel guilty at first. You're going to feel like the bad guy, like you're being too harsh, too unforgiving, too rigid. That guilt is your old programming. You've been taught that good people give infinite chances, but that's not true. Good people have standards. Let me tell you what happened with Helen, 53, who finally stopped giving chances to her toxic sister after 30 years of trying. She felt guilty for 6 months, kept wondering if she'd done the right thing, kept second-guessing herself. But after 6 months, something shifted. She told me, "I realized the guilt was just habit. It wasn't based on anything real. My sister had decades of chances. I didn't owe her another one. And without that toxic relationship draining her, Helen had energy for relationships that actually mattered. She reconnected with old friends, made new ones, built a life that wasn't centered around managing her sister's behavior. She told me, I thought setting boundaries would make me lonelier. It made me less lonely because I finally had space for people who actually cared about me. You'll respect yourself again. This is the big one. When you stop tolerating disrespect, when you stop giving chances to people who've proven they don't value you, something in you shifts. You start to believe you deserve to be treated well, not just intellectually, but in your bones. And that changes everything. Because when you believe you deserve respect, you stop accepting anything less. Here's what I want you to understand. Giving someone a chance is an act of grace. Giving someone endless chances is self-abandonment. You're not being mean by having standards. You're not being cold by refusing to tolerate disrespect. And you're not being unforgiving by recognizing that some people have had all the chances they're going to get. You're just finally valuing yourself as much as you value everyone else. This week, I want you to look at the relationships in your life. The ones that drain you. The ones where you're always giving and rarely receiving. The ones where you're constantly making excuses for someone's behavior. Ask yourself, how many chances have I already given? And what would I tell my daughter to do if she was in this relationship? If the answer is that you'd tell her to walk away, then you know what you need to do. It's going to be hard. You're going to feel guilty. You're going to second-guess yourself. You might even go back a few times before you finally leave for good. That's normal. Breaking this habit is hard, but staying trapped in low-value relationships is harder. You deserve relationships where you're valued, where your boundaries are respected, where you don't have to keep giving chances because people get it right the first time, or at least the second. Stop hoping people will change. Start believing you deserve people who already respect you. Which relationship in your life keeps getting chances it doesn't deserve? You don't have to name names, but I know you know which one I'm talking about. And if you want to know the exact moment that reveals whether someone actually respects you, hit subscribe. Next video is about the test that shows you who's real and who's just using you.